He probably just went ahead and picked it up for the stuff. Okay. All right.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to Godly Giggles with Steve and Mo, where we can show you that you can serve Jesus and still have a fun-filled life. Today we are going to talk about Proverbs 31 and how to be a Proverbs 31 woman. So this one's for the girls.
Yes.
We talked about it, or I talked about it one day. I think
2
it was
days
Friday.
ago. Friday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically it was really good. And
it was 2 parts.
Yes, because it was
2
so
videos.
long. So I was like, we have to talk about it on the podcast because there was just so much in there. So
There's so much good stuff.
Yes,
too.
yes.
So of course we want to talk about good stuff on here. So
right.
So we're gonna go into that. You read it. Did you guys read it? I hope you read it with us as well. But what were some of the things that stood out to you about like the attributes of, because we always hear, I want to be a Proverbs 31 woman,
right.
or
right.
like that is what you want to be.
Yeah.
So what was like some of the points that were like, to be this, you have to be this. Does that make sense?
Yes. Something that I have all these notes I listened to something and I have no idea what it was, but it was a long time ago. But it was.
So you've already done this.
Yeah, and I don't even remember like who it was, but
is it good stuff?
Yeah. So something that I thought was like interesting is 25 and 26. It says she's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instructions on her tongue. Dignity. If this is what she said. So if it's wrong, I'm really sorry, but I don't think it's not. I think it's right. Okay. Dignity is the outer display of the strength within. And so she's clothed with strength and dignity. And so you're clothed with strength, but then your dignity is like you're also displayed of the strength within. And it's like, it was like if you're not strong on the inside or like filling yourself up with the right stuff, then you're going to appear weak. Not weak, like weak in a sense of like strong or weak, like in Christ, like your relationship with Him. And that's just like, well, like do I have dignity? Like am I showing strength like on the outside of me? I don't know, it's like a little weird wording, but it's like, are you really like committed, and are you all in for your relationship with God?
Yes.
And then also she can laugh at the days to come. I wrote down laughing at the days to come is the outward expression of peace and hope, because she knows what tomorrow holds. Because like, not in the sense of like she knows that she's going to the grocery store at 9 o'clock, but she knows that God's already got it all figured out. So she can laugh at the days to come because she knows God's got it. And she doesn't have to look. I think it says somewhere she doesn't look to the past or something like that.
Just looking forward constantly.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to look towards the past and like what you've done, but like look to the future, like what you can do.
Yes.
And that's so important because so many times, like especially like as sinners, it's like we can get so like entangled in our own sin that happened like 5 months ago, and that's like holding us back from living fully for Jesus now because we're just so like just stuck in it. And then also that can be like if you're so stuck on like summer camp that happened a year ago that you are still like you think you're still on a high, but you don't think anything can ever top it, then you're not gonna want to do anything else to try to not necessarily top that moment, but just anything that has to do with the Lord.
Right.
And so that's like so powerful, like just to look forward, not backwards.
And just to like go off of that a little bit, from what like how I took it also is that this is about Lamuel's mother, and so a lot of it that I read is she was busy doing work. She was working with her hands, like it constantly says that. And so if you're busy doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, or even working to provide for your family in the sense of not like, oh, I have to go to work every day from 9 to 5. Yes, I do that. But like also she was either working in her house. She was, I saw in here like several times it was talking about I want to say linens, but it didn't actually use linens. I should have had my Bible. It talks about like wool or, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like early on in the chapter.
Yeah.
And so it almost is like, was she like a seamstress type person? She was busy working with her hands.
Well, it said something like she grasped the spindle with her fingers, and like she clothes her family in like scarlet
so like
and purple.
She's it's almost like she's working.
Yeah.
Essentially, she's working to do these things, but she's so busy doing those things that there's no time to look back at the past or to worry about what has already happened because she's looking forward to the future of tomorrow I have to do these things, I have to get this stuff done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, because that was kind of like what you were saying.
Yeah.
And then I saw something else that just it was just interesting. And it's terrible. I saw it on Instagram, but it's referring to that verse about she's clothed in strength and dignity. And so what I actually saw was like a girl that was dressed nice. Like she was conservative, she was covered, she was very stylish still, but that was like her version of that verse too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know like what you said was like a biblical reference to it, but also she's presentable.
Clothed.
Yes.
Right.
You know, like, so I was like, oh, that's such a good take on it too, of like, not that you have to be stylish, but that she was covered appropriately to be out in public. She looked nice. She like you could tell she took care of herself as well. Not to turn it around to be like a selfish thing, but to like value yourself as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because like our bodies are our temples, and so we have to, like, God gave us our body, so we need to take care of it.
Yes, and that just like stuck with me when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, so it is okay to value like your appearance a little bit too, not to make it all about
put your whole worth in it,
right? But to make yourself clean and presentable.
Yeah, that made me think of verse 30 when it says, "Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised." It's like the same thing. Like when I talked about it on Friday, I was like it's great to care about what you look like, but you can't. But then it's like a step too far when that's all you care about. When like you're just comparing yourself to other people of the world, or like you're constantly trying to live up to this like what's the word? Impossible expectation of like being like a perfect woman, like, which we can't be because everybody's so different. So we're all not gonna wear like the same outfit or like have the same hair or the same.
So boring,
right? And everybody like, and we're just all so different. Like I can't wear my hair naturally curly because my hair is straight as a board.
But your girl over here can.
Yes, and like
not everybody can be dark haired,
right?
And young and beautiful, but.
Right, and there's just certain things that like God gave you that like why would you try to change that because God made you like that?
He made you perfect in His image, like how He wanted you to be, and so like that is so it too. Like, why try to change something about you? Like you were made just the way. I'm just another pin. Just the way He wanted you to be made.
Yeah.
So don't go like altering yourself too much, or don't even do it at all. But like covering up in makeup. Girl.
Yeah.
The natural flow. Them bags at 6 a.m. in the morning. Yes. Gets a little better, y'all, throughout the day. See, look, I'm doing a little better.
Have you done any of them with your little things on?
No, I thought about it just to be funny. But I wear 14 karat gold eye patches. Or so they say. I got them from Amazon for $7. So they're probably not 14 karat gold. But I wear them before I come to church, and I peel them off right when I get here and rub that little serum in. They like dry out. They're so weird. Have you ever seen them? Have you ever used them?
Well, my mom. Are they like the reusable kind? Oh.
They come in a little square pack, and you take them out, put them on your eyes, and then when I take them off, I'm so terrible. I lay them on the counter, so I leave them on for 15 minutes, and I put them on the counter, and then I do my like moisturizer, but it has this like serum stuff, so you have to like rub it in. Well, I came home from church last week, and those things, they were dried little shriveled up prunes.
Because you left them on the counter.
Yeah, but I thought they would have stayed moist. They didn't.
Okay.
They were weird. They were like crunchy and
gross.
Yes. Well, I mean, they like shrunk up like that.
So do you put like Mama has some, and she puts hers in the fridge.
Oh, hers is probably like the cold. things.
Yeah, well,
These are cold, but there's like
naturally cold.
Yeah, there's like some moisture. Like they're slimy. Like there's something on them. I don't know what it is, but it helps. That's Amazon, girl, Amazon. It's a black box with gold writing, and it says 14 karat gold on them, and it's gold.
Cute,
yes. Cute. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
So, can I tell you what, like a few of the things that I spotted out, and then you can give me like your,
yeah.
You can like
you want to go through your 9?
Yes, I made 9, y'all. I wrote down numbers, and Molly was like, I didn't count, and I was like, well, I just wrote numbers, just kept it going. Okay, so I feel like this is what it talks about, but like you can also like tell me what does it really mean to you. Okay, all right. So the first one I did come to is she honors her husband, she does not slander him, and he trusts her with his whole heart. So to be completely,
I'm looking at my list from Friday.
Okay. Oh yes,
because I had bullet points. Yes,
you did. You just didn't number yours like I did.
Yeah.
But it's probably a similar thing because it was clearly laid out what a Proverbs 31 woman looks like.
I have 9 too.
Do you see? Okay, so I was like, I was pretty like there was 9 unless you figured out how to come up with another one.
Yeah.
So like that is huge for your husband to completely trust you with everything that he has, but you are so committed, and like he knows that you are his, like you know what I mean,
right?
Okay, and so the second one we just talked about was she works hard to provide for her family and to run her household, and I think like she truly does work hard based on the earlier verses in the chapter.
Yes.
Whether she's sewing, she's cleaning, I feel like she's a seamstress,
right?
Making.
I mean, really, you couldn't go like buy clothes. I mean, I guess you could, but like so many people like made their own clothes back then. Well, if she was a king's, so does that mean she was a queen at some point?
I don't know, girl.
If King Lemuel
stuff from the podcast before we.
I know. I'm just like thinking like what she.
Let me look it up. Oh, and it doesn't say her name though.
No.
We're about to tell y'all. We're going to do a little Google search, but, you know. Yes, we got this. Hold on. So, Lemuel, right? I think I had to...
Girl, take a guess at who it was.
Oh. What's it start with?
B.
Betty.
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Not Betty, y'all. I know. I was totally joking about that. There ain't nobody in the Bible named Betty.
That is insane. I did not know. That's like so weird. Not weird. Because you know, like David, when he was like, you know, with the story with Bathsheba and David.
Yes.
And then like, he wrote all these, she said all these great things. It's kind of weird.
Well,
but cool.
This king here really looks up to his mom.
Yeah.
So
David was his dad. Or wait? Or was this the one that wasn't? Did Bathsheba have a kid with somebody else? Yeah, it was David. Okay, I need to write this down. What? Bathsheba and David were his parents? And he wrote like all these great things?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're going to document this moment right now. So, this is crazy. We need to do like a lineage thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, oh my gosh, his mother's teachings were so often seen as a model of virtuous living. Oh my gosh, like
that's insane.
Yes. His mother taught him wise sayings about excellent character.
Yes.
All right. So are we like sure that David is his dad?
Yeah, that's what it said. In a bunch of different places.
Why do we not know this? Did you know this?
No, I had absolutely no idea. Okay, Jesse was the king. David was the father of Solomon, whose mother had been Uriah's wife.
King Solomon. Wait,
Solomon was David's kid? King Solomon?
Yeah.
Am I stupid? Was I supposed to know that?
I know.
Because then King Solomon wrote, like some people think that he wrote Ecclesiastes and like Song of Songs, you know? Like Song of Solomon, you know?
Yes.
What? I feel like I've should have known
We
this.
learned some big stuff, y'all.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Like, are we sure? Yes, King
Yes.
David. He became, wait, was the wife of Hittite and later became one of King David's wives. One of King David's wives?
Yeah, I remember he had a bunch.
Yeah.
He had Abigail from Nabal and Bathsheba, and there's another one. I read it the other day. Okay, but then it's also like...
Okay, so I'm just gonna double check this. Google, I hope you're right.
Okay, so Bathsheba. Okay, how did... I know that was like a little scandalous story.
No, it says it's unknown. But it's... Wait.
So Bathsheba was the mother of Solomon, who succeeded David as king.
Yeah, and here
so when was Lemuel a king?
It says Lemuel is actually King Solomon.
What?
Where's Spencer?
Oh my word. What? Really?
Seriously? What?
It says
Girl,
his
we live under a
identity
rock.
remains uncertain, but he could be identified as Solomon or Hezekiah, while others think he may be a king from Manasseh.
Yes, it says that they speculate that he is the same person. And others think he may be the king of Massia? We need to ask Spencer this.
Heck? That is crazy.
Like, why did we not know?
I do not know.
Why did we not look this up before y'all? Y'all, we just learned some good stuff. I think this is good.
I do. Wait, to end it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, to end what?
No, I just used to say like, is this good? I thought you were saying it. No.
It's-
Hold up.
Oh, no, I mean like, okay, so King David is not his father. It says it's unknown based on our Google search because we're just pulling up Google really fast, y'all. We're not really like, you know. Okay. This.
Wait, but it says that she didn't have any kids with Uriah. So unless she had another husband, Solomon. Wait, because Solomon.
Oh, Bathsheba means daughter of abundance too. Like this explains why her son thought so. Okay, so
It's so crazy.
yeah, she did become the wife of King David, but is he the father? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking to see if I'm getting.
Too. But he would have had to have been the father because she didn't have.
It says
anybody
Bathsheba
else.
sends word to David that she is pregnant.
They don't, she was only married to Uriah and then David.
Yeah.
And Uriah died and they never had any kids. And then she's married to David, so David had to be the father. And because Solomon became the king, and so he had to have been David's blood to be the king first. Because he had a bunch of
but
kids.
you know the Bible talks a lot about adoption.
Right.
Being adopted.
Yeah.
But okay, we're gonna have a little chat with like one of the elders of the church.
Yeah.
He's like big history, like he knows this stuff. So we're gonna ask him who is Lemuel's father, and is he King Solomon also? Is he the same person? Okay. All right, moving on. So I told you number 2 that like she works hard for her family. 3, it says she cooks meals to nourish her family. Y'all, I am missing out on that one because your girl don't cook.
So true.
My husband cooks every night for us because if we had to wait for me to cook, it'd be 9 o'clock and my children would be starving because it was so awful.
Yeah.
Or we going to Chick-fil-A and getting some of that.
Or you give them some Pedialyte and some.
Here's you some cake.
Everybody,
bottle food.
grab your bottle. We have plenty. Y'all all just sit at the table.
Who's praying over it?
all 8 of y'all just sit at the table with
all here. Just turn it up. Hey, it's full of calories. It is like 500 calories per bottle.
Yeah, and the Pedialyte has the electrolytes and stuff in
so
it.
you'll be hydrated. And we could be done with it in like 3 minutes. Like, ain't even got nothing to clean up. So my kids have feeding tubes. So this is their formula that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And Lord knows it stinks. It's completely organic. My whole car, my whole house
Smells like
smells. Ugh. Okay.
Gross.
Doritos.
Bananas.
Oh. That's weird. It's vanilla. I don't know where she gets bananas from. Okay, so there was this other part that I thought was like so cool.
Okay.
She's wise with her money because it says she went to a field and she bought it
She
and
considered
turned
her earnings and bought it herself.
and she turned it into a vineyard. So therefore, she works hard to make a profit.
Yes.
So she's looking for the future
She's
again.
planning ahead. Yes.
Yes, so that even her children would have something, passing something down to them.
Yes.
This next one is one of my favorite ones. Okay. She reaches out to the needy and generously gives to them as well.
Yes.
So she cares for the orphan and the widow.
Yes.
Like, check mark, can that be that one?
Yes.
Like 100% all day long.
And it says that in Proverbs, and we just read
And
that
we
in
just
James.
read it,
Yes.
James, yes. And I even like went back and quoted what you read yesterday about it too, because it is James 1:27. You know, it's pure religion
Yeah.
to look after the orphans and the widows.
Yeah. Yes. Faultless.
Yeah. So like you don't do that, you ain't nothing.
Yep.
I'm kidding. Okay, and so then I did for number 6, she is filled with the Lord's wisdom and she speaks kindly. So like I told you earlier, slow to listen. Oh no, quick to listen, slow to speak.
And that's in James too, what we just read.
It is.
This is why
yes,
we're reading them, guys. Literally everything.
It goes together.
Yes.
It was so crazy because it's only 5 chapters and it sums up all of Proverbs to me
Literally.
in 5 chapters also.
Mhm.
So then for number 7, which 7 is my favorite number, guys, it is completeness. The whole Bible talks about number 7. So my kid is named 7, so you can't take it, but it's cool. Okay. Don't take it because I've already like told you that it is biblically based number. So it's
Yeah.
my
Yep,
kid's
yep, yep.
favorite kid.
Yeah.
Okay, she protects her household and works to raise her children according to the Lord's call and helping them like stay on the right path. She's guiding them down the right path.
Yes.
And so I think, did your mom do a good job at that? Yes.
Yeah.
Doing it for you, and then you're gonna do it for your children, so it'll be like a
Yes.
generational thing
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And then she is blessed by her children and praised by her husband. So getting that recognition from, like, you know, her husband is like, thank you
Yeah.
for all that you've done today.
Right.
While
Especially because she's working all day, like, for them.
Mhm.
Like, he's working too, but most likely it's to, like, make money.
Yes.
But she's working to, like make clothes and food for her family.
Like truly provide.
Right. Yes.
And also, I don't know if you like gathered this in Proverbs that it has a clear definition of lazy and poor. Did you pick up on that? Did you or no?
I mean, now you're saying it, yes.
There, like it uses those words very differently.
Right.
Like lazy, that they do not get to eat, but poor, they are like he's telling us to take care of them still. And so I think you have to evaluate the situation and see, like, have you tried to do something versus being lazy and expecting something.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like even in this situation, she's not being lazy.
Right, like she's doing something about it.
Yes, like constantly.
Yeah, like all day.
I
every
mean,
day.
yeah. Like it's one point, it's something that I read says she rises before the sun.
That's what it says right there.
Yes.
She rises before the sun
and begins her day of work.
Yeah. Where is it? I literally just saw it.
And some translations have it differently too.
Oh, she gets up while it's still night. Is what mine says.
Okay, so that's before the sunrise, yeah. But number 9, above all else, she fears the Lord and will be blessed by the work her hands have done. So she's not sitting idle. She's not being lazy.
Right.
She is truly providing for her family.
Right.
I love it. Those are my notes. I did good, didn't I?
Yes.
All right, what you got for your 9? Are they similar?
Yeah, I think so. I just went through like the verses. So verse 15, or like I'll read it. Okay, so be selfless and provide for others is verse 15 because she gets up while it's still night, provides for her family, and portions for her female servants. Like she's not only providing for her family but also like
the people who work for her.
Right.
Like how crazy is that? Because most people would look down upon them.
Right. Yes.
Love that too.
And then verse 20. Provide for the poor and needy. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. That's like, that's just like that's just so easy. Like a ministry option, just to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Just to extend your hands to the poor and like open your hands to the needy. Like you can do that wherever you live. It's really simple.
And it could be anything. Like I don't know if you saw this on something I was reading. You know that podcast I told you about? It said Yes, with Lisa Harper.
Oh, yes, yeah.
She said, even if you have nothing to give yourself, you can cook a meal. Does that make sense? Like,
oh, yes.
Even if you have nothing, you still have something to give. You can provide.
Right. You can cook.
Even something so simple as cooking a meal. Mm-hmm. You can't solve all their problems, but you can feed their belly.
Yes.
For once, you know?
Yeah, and that's so good because so many churches, like ours here, like we have a meal train. Mm-hmm. It's like, I ain't got no money, but I use my parents' groceries and that we already have in the house and like cooked a casserole, you know?
Did.
Yeah. It's really simple.
Cookies or brownies too?
I think so. Maybe. I don't remember.
Good.
Okay, and then I didn't put a verse for that one. I put know who's in charge of your life, which is Jesus, but I can't remember what verse I got that from.
It's going to be towards the end because it's going to go with my... maybe like that she fears the Lord towards the end of the...
Yeah, so...
Or number 6, she's filled with the Lord's wisdom and speaks kindly. So that would be like halfway through the chapter.
Yes. Yeah, mm-hmm. Okay, so that's good. And then also 23, it says, my point was like marry a good man because her husband is well respected at the city gates where he takes a seat among the elders of the land. So it's not like not like dissing men, but like marry someone who like loves you and like values your relationship with Christ and like his relationship with Christ like over you in a sense because like Jesus is over everything, but it's like he needs to be actively pursuing Christ while he's also pursuing Christ with you at the same time. And that's so important because like when you're married, and I saw something the other day and it has to do with like you and your husband like going after the word together. It said, if this is like totally wrong, then I'm so sorry. We don't like fact check anything.
No, as you can tell, we Googled something long ago.
Yeah, but he was saying that he doesn't let his kids have Bible studies with like his like children, like when they're like under the age of 18, like with like the opposite sex, because he was like, that's something you should only do like with your husband or wife. And he said a verse, but I forgot what it was. Because it's like, it's almost like you're making that a marriage. And if when you break up, because most likely you are, it's like you associate Bible study with that person and they did something like bad maybe. Oh. And so it's going to like turn you off from like, oh, well, we did that together. And so like one, it can make you like sentimental or like you can be mad about it. And I'm like, wow, like that, not that that's ever my issue because never done that before. But I was like, it made me think of like, that's so true. Like, even if you think you're going to marry them, it's like, that's something that you need to
even
grow
say
by
that
yourself. Yes. Right. Mm-hmm. Like, you could talk marriage. About things, but, like, specifically, like, doing that together is something that you need to, because, like, you might know you're going to marry somebody, but, like, you don't know till you at the wedding with a ring on your hand. This is so true. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay. I mean, that's good, because I never would have looked at it that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. And
so you stick with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
Doing your Bible studies.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And nothing else.
Yes. Okay. And never mind, I'll see that later. Okay. So marry a good man. Okay.
Also, I was going to tell you this. I forgot. Like, when you were telling me, it was going in my head. It says that he's, like, an elder. He sits at the city gate.
Yes.
Okay, that means he's somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's worked hard to achieve
like
that
he's
position.
in like a leadership position.
Yes, and it doesn't mean that you have to marry someone who is a leader,
right?
But you're gonna marry someone who is a hard
is
worker.
a leader.
Yes,
like in your home, but not like
he doesn't have to be. Yeah, he doesn't have to be a CEO of like
yes,
Kroger,
but he needs to have that
or Starbucks.
This leadership. Taking a leadership class in college right now, and it's like listing all these traits, and it like is making
and you're like, that's fine, man. That's what I'm gonna go for. So I thought that was too, because again, Proverbs talks so much about being lazy, so that you can turn around and say, okay, he was a man who worked hard to achieve something.
He's working, but then he also has like this other position of he's an elder and he's respected at the city gates, and
he's not the guy holding the can asking for money outside of the city gates.
Right.
He's achieved a certain position by working hard. So you do not go for a man who does not work hard.
Right.
You understand, Mo?
Yes.
If so, I'm not marrying you.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm marrying you.
Yeah.
You know?
Like officiating my wedding.
I am. And if he's not a hard worker and he doesn't take care of my girl, nope. I'm going to stand at that altar and tell him to turn around and go back.
Hopefully there wouldn't be a wedding if he wasn't.
Yeah, we won't even let you get that far, so it's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. And then I said that a minute ago, but dignity, like we need to be dignified. I think that's a word. Like we need to be like the outer display of our strength within. So like we need to be strong and secure on the inside, so it'll show on the outside to other people and like plant that seed in other people. Okay, and then that's verse 25. She's clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs at the days to come.
Yes.
Okay. And then also I said this a minute ago, don't look to the past, look to the future. Verse 25, she can laugh at the days to come. And then we talked about that. And then 26, I wrote, we have to read the Bible to speak wisdom and know what faithful instruction is, because it says she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. How are you going to know what wisdom and faithful instruction is if you're not reading the Bible?
Especially
because the world is not full of wisdom and faithful instruction.
No, absolutely not.
So the only way you're going to be able to get that, even if like you go to church and listen, that's just man's words. Like you need to read the word and know exactly what the faithful instruction is, like who said it, why they said it, and like what the wisdom is. And like Proverbs is literally the book of wisdom. So
yes, and if you need a summary of shorter chapters, you just jump on over to James.
That's right. Yep.
5 whole chapters and sums it right up.
Yep. Okay, and then last one, I said this a minute ago too, but don't put your worth in your beauty. Your value comes from Jesus and him alone. Verse 30, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. And it has said fears the Lord a few times, like a lot throughout, like talking about men and women, because it's like a healthy fear. Like you fear him because you know that he could like breathe and you would be like you'd be gone. Yes. Because it's like he's so much higher than you.
Yes, and also you could never get to him.
Right.
As well. If
like he's always gonna be so much better than you. Like you're never ever gonna be what he is.
Yes.
Or really come close.
No.
We're gonna try. You know, it's
Thank
like we have
for Jesus.
Yeah.
That he sees him through.
Yes.
Sees us through him.
Yeah. So that was my 9.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay.
So can I tell you my
Yeah, I'm looking something up about Proverbs, so please listen.
So please listen.
No, like you listen to me. Or like no, I'll listen to you. Sorry.
I was like, yes,
that wasn't the right word.
Yes. Okay, so I did like a comparison of a strong woman and a woman of strength, which is what I feel like Proverbs 31 talks about, is a woman of strength. And so I'm just going to go down my list of like the strength part of the Proverbs 31, of kind of like a summary of just her in general.
Okay.
I feel like she's going to, like, you would want to be quick to listen. Like, let me hear and take in everything that's being said instead of giving you my thoughts and opinions. She's going to be focused on growing herself closer to Christ and making sure that she's where she needs to be for her husband and her children. She allows others to lead. She follows with her husband. She allows him to be the head of the household, essentially. Like, we hear that. She has the others first attitude. This is just what I've gathered from Proverbs 31. Okay, this is just like my thoughts. She has the others first. She's constantly providing for the other people in her household.
Right.
She encourages and believes in other people. She always has enough. She's not constantly looking for more and searching for the next thing for her, which would be more of a selfish act to do those things.
Yeah.
And then she knows that God is always in control. She has that healthy fear of him, but also he knows her future, and what is coming. And she's not sitting around waiting for someone to come and apologize to her or to make things right with her. She is seeking and looking for reconciliation. Like she wants to make it whole.
Move, right?
Yes. And so like those are the things that like I would really want to be.
Yeah.
But I struggle in some of those areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's just going to be our nature, is to struggle in those, but at least there is like,
to put forth the effort to try to be different.
Here's my guide that I want to try to achieve those things. And oh my gosh, like that would be like the perfect one, like right there.
Yeah.
So those are just some of my little pointers that I'm like, I want to do these things. I want to make sure I'm this and not this.
Right.
As well. So what'd you look up?
Okay, so if you've listened to our Bible reading, it feels like every chapter that I read, it talks about a quarrelsome wife. Have you listened to those?
Yes.
And I'm just like, dang, like, don't be a quarrelsome wife.
Maybe that's your hint. I'm just kidding. You're the wife.
I'm just joking.
That's why you're single. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm so joking.
So here are the verses. A quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping. Better to live. This is like a bunch of different ones. It's not like all one thing. And then another one is better to live on a corner of the roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife. And then better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome wife and ill-tempered wife. Literally all of these are the odd ones. They're all like 19, 21, 25, 27. So literally all the ones that I read.
That's funny.
And then in 25, like Proverbs 25, it repeats Proverbs 21. It's like literally the same verse and it repeats it. And then in 27, a quarrelsome wife is like constant dripping on a rainy day. Restraining her is like restraining the winds or grasping oil with the hand.
That would be so hard to do.
I know. And so then I've been meaning to look this up and say, so what exactly is a quarrelsome wife? And this just goes along with like how to be a noble wife, and it's like how not to be, like, don't do these things. So like a quarrelsome wife is she nags, she huffs and puffs and sighs. Hold up, where is this? This is like what stuff she could do to like be a quarrelsome wife. Like she reminds him of his past failures, she degrades him verbally, she like feels she makes him feel incompetent, like she never has enough. Okay, where's the...
So, like, Proverbs literally says don't be a quarrelsome wife. And, like, if you do any of these things that she just said, you better get on over to Proverbs 31 and keep reading.
It says, a quarrelsome woman devalues him, like your husband, as a man, using words and body language. The very man who is designed to lead and protect and provide for her and her family, like, she's, like, degrading and making him feel terrible. And I was just like...
So how is he supposed to serve you well? When
that just shows how important it is.
Yes.
That it's like it was at least in 5 chapters, and he repeated
to not
the same.
Be that.
Yes, and then it goes and talks about like this is what you should be. So
the last chapter of the book is like
the whole
this is
dedicated
you, girl.
Yeah.
This is who you want to be. Do not be any of this past stuff that we talked about.
Right.
That was good because I didn't think about like the opposite side.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of did the comparison, like what I talked to you about, but mine was not. Like what you just said, those are things that like people really do though.
Right.
And sometimes I may be guilty of like some of that too, you know? Not like not degrading my husband, but just like, oh, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to go to your store. Not that I go, but you know, that I cook.
Yeah.
So that was good to bring up the other side of that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That was Proverbs 31 in our version, kind of what we thought, what we want to be, what we hope to be, what we're going to strive to be.
Yes.
And what we're going to look for in a husband one day. Yeah. When she's 40. Oh gosh. Okay.
Alrighty. So thank you guys so much for listening to Godly Giggles. We hope that you have a great rest of your week, and we hope that you start us off with your week because you know we're so fun. Yes. But we also hope that you will follow us on Instagram and Spotify and YouTube and Facebook, and that you will just really try to be a Proverbs 31 woman because it's so important. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
That was good.
Yeah.
You think?
Uh-huh.